Okay, Thad Beckham here. I hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to make a really cool arrow here. I kind of loosely styled this one after a Hopi arrow from the Southwest. Of course, these type of arrows were found, all over the United States by many different people. It's got a 12-inch foreshaft and it's wrapped over the foreshaft onto the cane. It's a Hopi arrow, and the side notch point right there looks like a fairly small side notch. 36-inch arrow. The main shaft is 29 inches, and the foreshaft is 8 inches, probably close to a 10-inch foreshaft, but they're several inches down in the cane. And a lot of arrows were made this way. The foreshaft was fit down in the cane and then tapered and simply wrapped between the cane and the foreshaft with some sinew. It's not glued in there. The original arrow I looked at, I was kind of loosely designing this one after, had a main shaft of Fragmite cane, which is weaker, not as strong as river cane. So it was only 24 inches long on the main shaft, but it had a 12-inch foreshaft, a foot of foreshaft. So I think that was done because of the weakness of the Fragmite cane. River cane, on the other hand, is stronger, thicker wall, and you need a little longer arrow to flex properly to get out of the bow straight. Now, the long foreshafts could be of whatever material people had in their region, and this is a long hickory foreshaft. If I harden it a little bit, it makes it easier to tie in a little small birdie like this. This gives you extreme penetration. And the penetration is not going to stop at the foreshaft, but if it did, even if it did, think about that. I mean, with this, you're still getting all the vital in the animal, unless you're shooting something really huge. The Hopi arrow had a 12-inch foreshaft. I mean, that's completely through both sides of the chest of a, average desert whitetail. So, or the whitetails here or most anywhere. But, I mean, you will continue to get penetration up the shaft. It's not going to stop. It's nice and tapered right here. Now, the little small point, you must take in consideration when you make these that you have enough meat out here on the end of the foreshaft that you can set your little bird point in. And, for the haft to still be strong, you don't want it so tapered thin that you can't mount a point where it's secure and strong. I used to make a lot of arrows like this where they go down in the cane, they just taper to fit down in here. Is pretty easy. Then sand down your cane and then wrap it together, nothing glued. I mean, you can take the sinew off, pull the foreshaft out and reuse it, put it right back in if you wanted to do something, like repairs or whatever to the tip, or put another foreshaft in it. The little small point, there's an argument to be made about, a logical argument to be made about larger points and better blood trails and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know if ancient people really even thought that way. I mean, if you hit the vital with this, the deer's going to be under 100 yards, more than likely, Now, if you hit bad with any arrow, it doesn't matter how big the arrowhead is, you're still not going to get the deer. You're not going to get the animal. I mean, muscle wound and that kind of stuff, you're not going to get anything. Now, another argument, a wider point may, it's wider, so it may come in contact with more arteries or veins or whatever. That's true. But if you put this in the boiler room of a deer, I don't think you're going to have to worry about all that's like, to me, worrying about stuff that really, it's really like overkill. The positive things about these arrows to me is the fact that they fly very well. And I think that's why people used them in the past. You have extreme penetration with this hard, durable but slender foreshaft And the same can be said for the little small birdie. As you can see, this arrow's been shot in the target many times, and it's got a strong haft on it. There's nothing weak about this arrow. You know, modern people may look at that and go, wow, that's really a primitive looking arrow. Well, they perform brilliantly. I mean, they perform efficiently. So let's make it. The total length of it is 36 inches, not counting the point. I got some cane that needs a little bit more work to straighten them. They dry, they've been pre-straightened, but they still need a little finesse. And then we'll insert this and continue on with the arrow. Little hafted flake knife. Serrated one edge, the other edge is not serrated. Got one here for cutting sinew and stuff. Very nice little tools. What I always do is bring my foreshaft to a point. That way I can spin it once I insert it in the arrow in the main shaft. I can spin it and make sure it spins straight. And this end, I'm not going to worry about right now because I'll scrape this to fit down in the arrow. It'll go about probably that deep. 1.5 inches is plenty, 2 inches. And I'll smooth this up and burnish it. And before I cut my point in it, I'll blunt this up a little bit where I can cut. And then make a nice center cut to mount my arrowhead. I mean, it's nothing to it really, just little elbow grease. I had to straighten this foreshaft with some heat, but that's okay. I mean, that's legal. Cut straight chutes and take the straight section out the chutes. And if you got to straighten a little bit with heat, which I did this one, no big deal. Much better than just a flake. You got leverage. Just take your time. You're not in a race. you know, you may look at this arrow and say, oh, that little thin arrow point won't survive. Well, I've shot these through the spine of whitetails, not on purpose, but it happens. And even the fragile tip here went through the vertebrae, went through the spine, and the whole point was still intact and could have been resharpened and reused. So, you know, just hitting the flexible ribs on a whitetail and punching through, this is nothing. I mean, there's no disadvantage to this. It's really a nice arrow. I mean, I don't blame people for wanting a little thicker points or a little wider points. I mean, you do what you want to do, you know, but I'm going to tell you, this works. And it works very effectively.